Hey there, it's Hannah, and I am going to be a little bit bossy. I can be slightly bossy sometimes, and you can take it or leave it, but this is something that has changed my life. So I'm going to tell you to put your relationship first, above your kids. I know. Some of you are like, what? Put it above your kids, put it above your career. But I really want to talk about the kid thing because I know as a mom how hard that can be, and how when children come into our lives, it changes the dynamic in our relationship and can really actually be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It can be really hard. And you know, I didn't, this is why I feel so strongly about it. I did not prioritize my marriage in my first marriage. And, you know, I really prioritized my kids over my man, right? Over my husband. You know, I remember like even from the get-go, like within the first month of having a baby, my little one wouldn't, he was not interested in being in his daddy's arms. And he would cry and cry and cry, and I'd just go rescue him with pretty much disregard for how my husband felt. And we never once in our whole time of having, we had 2 kids together, never once hired a babysitter. Many years together, many years with kids, no babysitter. You know, and I think I really just believed that like the kids are only here briefly. They need all the attention we can give them. They need us paying them all we've got. But you know what that led to? Nothing to give my husband. Nothing left for the relationship. And so really our marriage floundered. No, that's a fish. Anyway, you know, I get words wrong all the time. It fizzled. Our relationship fizzled. And then, you know what then? The kids actually now only get my attention half of the week because they're with their dad the other half of the week. And they also had to go through a divorce, right? So, you know, now I really strongly believe that we need to put our relationships first. Or at least give them equal attention as we do our children, right? You can think of them as your third child, but not as though your husband's your third child, because that doesn't work either, I promise. I don't know how many kids you have anyway. Maybe you have none. But here's the thing. Our kids will grow up, right? They will go, and that's a beautiful thing. But you'll be left with your partner. You'll be left with whatever's left of your marriage. And if there's not a lot there, if you haven't been feeding that over the years, you're not going to be left with a whole lot. It's going to be a whole lot harder to pick up where you left off 20 years ago, right? You know, if you're not feeding it. Your relationship is the glue that holds your family together, right? The kids learn to love. They learn to love by example, by watching their parents. And they thrive in a loving environment, right? So, you know, even if you aren't showering them with attention, the home is like, the happy home is so important for their well-being. You know, I'm absolutely not saying ignore your kids, but you know, do give them attention, do love on them, but make time for you and your partner too. Right? So my husband and I prioritize, you know, my second husband, we prioritize our marriage. We do, we make it a thing. We carve out the time, right? Even when money is tight, we get really creative and organize our life so that we have time away from our little one. We've done all sorts of interesting things so that we can have time apart from our children regularly, right? We really make time to be together. And it means scheduling, right? With 3 children, it means scheduling time together. It even sometimes we're sort of like scheduling lovemaking, and that sounds crazy, but it's so not crazy because it keeps our love alive and vibrant and sweet and tender and all the good stuff, right? So, you know, it also allows us to show up more fully to our kids because we feel good, right? And our relationship isn't draining us. So that's what I have for you. Put your relationship first. And if you're having, the rest will follow. But if you're having trouble putting your relationship first, if there's too much in the way of doing that, you've got to figure that out. Like, you've got to figure out why you aren't doing that. I mean, and some, it could be that you don't even want to be alone with your partner, right? Like, things are too hard. And so, if you're not enjoying time with your partner, and you don't know how to overcome that, then that's so important to start looking at that and start figuring out what's going on there and how you can move through that and overcome that, so that you can have that strong, loving glue of a relationship to hold your family together, right? And if you need some help with that, if you don't know exactly what's going on and you want some eyes on that, you don't know how to overcome the hard stuff, like, I'm here for you. I can totally help. So, feel free to reach out to me. We can hop on a call together and I'll help you figure out what's going on and what you need to do to move through it, so that you can look forward to time and you can make time for your ever so important marriage and happiness. All right, I'll see you soon. Take care, bye.